Longfellow's history. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow was born in Portland, Maine on February 27, 1807. His mother, Zilpah Wadsworth, was the daughter of a Revolutionary War hero. His father, Stephen Longfellow, was a Portland lawyer and later became a member of Congress. At the time, the Longfellows were staying with Stephen's father in a 3-story federal house on the corner of 4 and Hancock Streets, while her husband, Captain Samuel Stevenson, was at sea. Longfellow was the second child of 8 in his family.
In 1822, Longfellow and his older brother moved to Brunswick, Maine to start their sophomore year at Bowdoin College. During the time at Bowdoin, Henry's passion for writing grew. Henry's father secured a professorship at Bowdoin College in modern European language.
In 1826, Longfellow began his adventure studying abroad and learned 7 different languages during his journey in 3 years.
In 1829, he began teaching Spanish, French, and Italian at Bowdoin College. Soon after, Henry married a former classmate named Mary Potter. Longfellow was offered a new position at Harvard, but before taking this position, he traveled to Europe with 2 friends and his wife. During this trip, something tragic happened. Longfellow's wife, Mary, died from a miscarriage. This was tough and life-changing for Longfellow. He was devastated and on the verge of committing suicide on his journey.
In 1836, Longfellow falls in love with Frances Elizabeth, also known as Fanny Appleton, who rejects him for 7 years. Here are some poems written by Longfellow. This one is called Excelsior. The shades of the night were falling fast, as though the Alpine village passed, a youth who bore mid snow and ice a banner with strange device, Excelsior. His brow was sad, his eye beneath flashed like a falchion from his sheath, and the silver clarion rung the accents from that unknown tongue, Excelsior. In happy homes he saw the light of household fires gleam warm and bright. Above the spectral glaciers shone, from his lips escaped a groan, Excelsior. Try not the past, the old man said, dark lures the tempest overhead. The roaring torrent is deep and wide, and loud that clarion voice replied, Excelsior. Oh stay, the maiden said, and rest thy weary head upon this breast. A tear stood in his bright blue eye, but still he answered with a sigh, Excelsior. Beware the pine tree's withered branch, beware the awful avalanche. This was the peasant's last good night. A voice replied, far up the height, Excelsior. At break of day, as heavenward, the pious monks of St. Bernard uttered the oft-repeated prayer. A voice cried through the startled air, Excelsior. A traveler by the faithful hound, half buried in the snow was found, still gasping in his hand of ice, that banner with the strange device. There in the twilight, cold and gray, lifeless but beautiful he lay. And from the sky, serene and far, a voice fell like a falling star, Excelsior. A Psalm of Life. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest, was not spoken of the soul. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow find us farther than today. Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb-driven cattle, be a hero in the strife. Trust no future, however pleasant, let the dead past bury its dead, act in the living present, heart within and God o'er our head. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing leave behind us footprints on the sand of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing o'er life's Solomon main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait.
Christmas bells. I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the words repeat, of peace on earth, goodwill to men.